What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Now, this is just a very short story, but I think it deserves some light to be shed on it. The Labour Party and its councillors have been called out for emotional blackmail when it comes to the 2016 referendum campaign. It's being reported that a Labour councillor in Peterborough has been called out by residents for trying to pressure the local community into voting Remain during the 2016 referendum, because voting Leave in Labour's eyes would mean these innocent voters had the murdered MP Jo Cox's blood on their hands, which ties in nicely with the Labour MP Paula Schiff's and others' disgraceful attempts to bring Jo Cox's name into the Brexit debate on Wednesday against the Prime Minister in Parliament. We should also never forget the record number of postal votes received in Peterborough at the recent by-election that helped them win the seat by 800 votes, with reports of a man convicted of voting fraud helping the Labour Party during that by-election campaign. So I would say form suggests this story might well be true. So let's take a look at the article on this. So here's the article. It says exclusive. Labour councillor told public, vote Remain or you'll have the blood of Jo Cox on your hands. And I'm guessing it's this tit here. During the 2016 EU referendum, a Peterborough Labour councillor allegedly tried to emotionally blackmail numerous voters on the doorstep by threatening them to vote Remain or you'll have the blood of Jo Cox on your hands. As if Labour have not sunk low enough, this comes out. A series of outraged residents from the city blighted by Labour postal voting fraud and corruption came forward during the June referendum to complain that the councillor in question, Richard Ferris, had become vicious while canvassing for Remain votes, with 3 individuals all reporting that he had used the same disrespectful and tasteless slogan relating to Jo Cox. I mean, look at him, he looks like a fucking shitweasel, let's be honest. Knocking on doors, Ferris, who resigned as a Labour councillor in late 2018 after being bullied for calling out anti-Semitism by local Labour Party members, many of whom have been exposed as supporting Hamas, surprise is surprise to absolutely no one, was reported as having deplorably told each voter that they would be partly responsible for Jo Cox's murder should they vote to leave the European Union. The matter was raised as an official complaint to Labour's head office, but as with most complaints submitted to them, it was ignored. Jo Cox served as a popular MP for Bately and Spen until her tragic murder at the hands of a neo-Nazi in June 2016. Today, many MPs have taken a leaf out of Richard Ferris's book and have attempted to exploit the tragedy to point score against the Prime Minister, calling him to apologise for stating the best way to honour Jo Cox, who is understood to have been a champion for democracy, is to get Brexit done. It does not surprise me in the slightest that the Labour Party would use that at the end of the day, whether it's recently or in 2016. It stinks of Labour Party in my opinion. But like I said, it was only a short one, but I felt it was important to get it out there to the wider public. If this was occurring during the referendum, then it makes you wonder how often it takes place during general elections or EU elections. But it does prove something that these Labour lowlifes are willing to use the memory of a murdered MP even close to the time it happened to further their political agenda and try and guilt-trip voters into backing their side, which is pretty low in itself, but then to use the poor woman's tragic death at the hands of some lunatic like a club to whip voters in line is on another level of sick, if you ask me. Blackmail is a disgraceful act, but to bring the dead into it while claiming a vote for the other side would make these people partially responsible is going to levels I really did not think these people would go to. Some would wonder how the Labour Party could condone this sort of behaviour, but given what we see on Wednesday from the Labour Party, who openly used Jo Cox for political point scoring in Parliament, we all know and expect this behaviour is sanctioned from the very top down. You also have to add this shit show to the fact that this Labour Party is only the second party in history behind the BNP to be investigated for racism. Them things alone should prove to anyone with a shred of decency that the Labour Party is at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to morals, never mind their policies which are equally insane. Their actions alone prove they are the septic spot on the arse of humanity. Well, I'm going to end the video there, guys. I want to thank the channel's PayPal, Patreon and Subscribe Star members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot. And I will see you all in the next one.
This Parliament is a dead Parliament. It should no longer sit. It has no moral right to sit on these green benches. They don't like the truth. Twice they have been asked to let the electorate decide upon whether they should continue to sit in their seats, while they block 17.4 million people's votes. This Parliament is a disgrace. But they're too cowardly to give it a go. But the time is coming. The time is coming, Mr. Speaker, when even these turkeys won't be able to prevent Christmas.